All right, guys, we're here playing another TGCTours Dream Team contest course. Today we are playing the a Team Red entry, one of the alternates, Royal Jhator. I have no idea how you're pronouncing that one. But yeah, freternick's course. I've been told that there's some pretty wild stuff on here, and so let's go find some. And I agree with what Ben just said there. The red team alternates have been really good. Yeah. I mean, the Dream Team as a whole, I don't think there's been a bad course. There's been maybe one or two slightly underwhelming, but I don't think there's been a bad one. And to think that, I mean, this time last year, I think most of these alternates would have been courses you would have seen in the main field. It's just people have gotten so good. Okay, so here's our clubhouse with some kind of pondy looking thing with a waterfall. Alrighty. Is this meant to be in like Vietnam? Did I see that right? Or somewhere in the east? Like Asia East? Okay, so again, Team Red, so he's got red everywhere. And if I remember from the forum correctly, the name of this course loosely translates to Blue Team Funeral, something like that. Which I thought was kind of funny. I do like the banter in Dream Team. There's nothing like it. Okay, what's this, like some kind of, I don't know. What is it? Very creative though to be making these buildings like this and make them look like, you know, the Vietnamese or Chinese or Japanese or whatever's style buildings that you've built. Apologies for my lack of knowledge of Asian stuff. Well, what's this here? Oh my goodness. Well, I hope the course lives up to all this other stuff, because boy oh boy, you've done some neat stuff here. What's this out here? Oh, hang on. Sign. No, okay. Just some kind of... Oh, this is cool. Alright, if there's any... Go see the hands. Where are the hands? Oh, here, we got a yin and yang. Hang on. You've done yin and yang in the water? For this hole? Oh my god. How much of this stuff is stuff that's kind of subtle and you might notice if you're paying attention, but you might not? Which is the best kind, by the way. Yeah, there's another one kind of like, the bunker's kind of like that shape too. Where are the hands? Seb told me to go see the hands. Where are they? Bridge. Okay. So here's the bridge. On a bridge and the entrance. The other bridge. Okay. Oh, hang on. Wait. Ah. Is this it? Oh my god. That is hilarious. What the hell? Oh, good god. Turn around? So is there something over here? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Matt. It's a bridge on a hole. Okay. Tell you what, when we get to the hole, just let me know. Because it's difficult with the delay and everything to kind of pay attention, and then you guys will tell me something and it's been a minute since I did 3 other things, so oh, from the large body. Okay, let's do that. From large body of water. Okay, look towards the course. Well, there's a couple large bodies of water. Yeah, that's probably the better way to go. Okay. Perfect. So, not all right. Well, let's start things. This is not my favorite way to do fairways. It's just me. I don't know if I see this in real life as much as I see it in the video game. It might be I'm just that dense that I don't see it in real life, or I just don't hit the ball far enough. That's entirely possible. But I mean, you can just hit a cut in here, I guess. Just the whole S shape getting narrowed right at driver. Yeah, I saw that, Daniel. That was funny. And the thing that Canuck put up on Twitter, if you're not Canadian, you have no clue what he's on about. The Canadian heritage moments. They're commercials that they play here all the time. It's funny. Bunkering's nice enough, I'd say. Okay, there we are. How long are we in here? 6 minutes in, we've hit a golf shot. Okay. I mean, I think it's more of a visual thing for me, the way the fairway is. I think it's fine. It plays fine. It just... And it's a me thing, too, I think. Bunkers look like they've got some depth to them. Does this green shape fit this type of hole? I don't know. So you're going to have a pin here. You're going to have a pin here. You've got one there. What, one here, maybe? Yeah, exactly, Matt. I don't know. The other thing is that this is just going to dump you into the rough, which I'm just not a massive fan of. Especially rough. I especially don't like it when the green is, or a slope of any kind is dumping you off into rough where there's a bunker there. Yeah, no kidding, Matt. It was. I just, because it's always going to hang up in the rough, and for me, I hate playing out of the rough. I would rather the ball roll into the bunker, or I would, even like some kind of a chipping area there that's fair would be okay with me too. I don't know. Yeah, exactly what Matt just said there. It was such a crummy way for that season to end, and it's not really over yet because they're saying they're appealing, whether they actually do or not. Hey, Charlie. But I mean, I wanted Max to win, and I wasn't the slightest bit, happy about that, the way it ended. I was just kind of like, that's such a crummy way to win. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about this green that's just not sitting in the way that I would hope for it to. It's huge to this back pin. It's gonna be smaller, obviously, to the fingers there. Really big, and then you've got this really big backboard that you don't need. You really don't need that. The green is plenty big that you don't need help back there on top of it. Of course, we left it short because I wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, that's gonna be the best way, Charlie. There's so many things that happened yesterday. Yeah, I don't think there is either, Matt, but they're gonna try. Although I thought I heard that they said Hamilton has asked Mercedes not to, which is cool if he did. That gives me a lot of respect for him if he said, you know what, guys, just leave it. Because I don't think he wants to win a championship in a courtroom either, right? So, okay. So this is pretty straightforward what we're doing here. Yeah, well, Merck, oh, they aborted the appeal? Good. See, I don't read newspapers, so there you go. Good. Not because I'm glad Max won, I don't want it to, you know what, it is what it is. I don't want it to be in a court. So yeah, you're either laying up or you're taking driver over it. Now, my question is, if I take driver over this water, How likely am I to get to the green? Might be able to. Not with that. All right, we're going to try this again from the tee because I want to see what this plays like if you can get it over the water. Because one of the things I'm a big believer in is if I take on this risk, and it is a risk. That's better. There should be a reward for it. And the easiest reward to give me here is a shot at the green. Otherwise, there's no... And I've got 285 left. Yeah, okay. So the issue here is that there's really no point in trying to hit it over the water. There's just... There really isn't, because I can't... I don't really have room to hit driver up here. Yes, I could be farther left. And maybe be a bit closer and maybe have a better angle. So I understand the idea behind it. It's also uphill. Yeah, if you're going to put something like that where you're trying to carry it with... trying to carry that hazard, I think the reward needs to be a bit better. I like the angle of the hazard. I like the idea that going farther left gives you the better shot in, and it gives you... But it's harder to get over that. But I think that it's maybe just not quite enough of a reward when you get over. I think the distance you've asked the player to hit the ball over it is fine. It's on the edge of how far you'd want it to be, but I just don't think you get enough of a reward. So I'm just going to hit a 3-wood up here. Probably through the fairway. Like, even with this kicker slope, it's... Yeah. It's just a little bit... I see the idea there, and it's almost there. It's just maybe just a hair too long is maybe the problem. Could also be that it's because I'm playing to this way back pin. And the front of the green would give me more of an opportunity, which then brings in the question, why is the green so big? Because you should be expecting a wedge into this, right? This back pin takes away much of any chance of getting there in 2. Front pin, I would have been able to make it. Okay, so there's that too. So the reason why I'm thinking it's not reachable is because I'm playing to a back pin. So I wouldn't mind the green ending kind of here. Or maybe even being a bit smaller. I think the green's just a little bit too big. Which then creates... Yeah, I don't know. It's a great idea that isn't quite being pulled off. Yeah, I didn't... Daniel, I didn't like that at all. There should be a one-way communication there that the race director controls, and he should be able to just mute everybody, and then only open up communication when he wants to talk to them. You shouldn't just be able to pull up the race director and say, hey, I think this is what we should do here. It should only be if he's like, okay, Red Bull, it's the race director. So, because at one point when there was the virtual safety car, you've got Toto on there saying, please don't make this a safety car. Like, no. And then that last safety car, they're both like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Anyways. We are Scoop. First time I've been out live since it happened. Okay. Fairway's a touch on the blind side. I'm not sure it needs to be. But it's pretty clear that you need to be hug the corner, the right of the bunker there. Second shot, again, green is maybe a bit big. Ooh, that's a mean pin. Just go in. Yeah, agree, Daniel. What are the greens at? 156, okay. So good that we've kept the greens down a bit because this slope here is pretty wild. Problem is we can't really speed these greens up much. Yeah, I am. I didn't play 1 week, Charlie. That'll be why. Whatever week, there was 1 week I didn't play. Not last week, the week before I didn't play. It makes sense the ground is moving towards the water. Pin's a bit on the tricky side. But yeah, I don't know that you can make it too much more. I don't know that you can make the greens too much quicker, otherwise that pin becomes really ugly. Okay. All right. So this is the old try and tempt me to smash a driver up here when it makes absolutely no sense to. But I can just hit maybe not 3-wood over here and give myself this angle. Is there really a time when being here is the play? As opposed to being here? I'm not sure that there is. So, I think this plays like a hole where you're trying to tempt somebody into doing something they really shouldn't. But I would prefer it to be one where there's a genuine choice with risks and rewards for both. There's no reason at all to hit driver here that I can see. Especially to this pin. Why would you ever try to thread it in here? You can't get on the green. You can't get to a point where you've got like a super easy anything in. It's always, you're always playing to here. In my mind, at least. Now, if we could take it over here somehow, and again, maybe it's because of the pin being so far back. Maybe it is drivable again. And so that's something, if that's the case, that's something to pay attention to is, do you have a pin set where a lot of the strategy of the course is getting taken away? Because I just see 360 and I'm like, I can't get there. Also keep in mind that this is, we should pay attention to where all these pins are, because this is 2 really back pins I can think of in 4 holes. Now that's just a very small sample space, or sample size, sorry, but okay. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say land movement makes sense until here. It makes sense we're all going this way because I think the hole was going that way. Yeah. But then crowning this, particularly when that's not, I don't know. Also a little bit of well, I like the fact you've got fairway around the green. I think I'd rather see that in other places too. They might, Ben, but I don't see that being worth it trying to thread it through the needle there. Or yeah, sorry, you might mean the tees. They might choose a shorter tee distance. That could be too. Okay. Love the idea of a short little par 3. You're gonna have holes that play 140, 145-ish. And then this one is 111. Normally I'd say this green's too big. I would normally just say that right away. I don't know though. Because I don't mind the idea of this kind of playing like 2 different holes. A little lob wedge. And like a 9-iron pitching wedge to here. And the way the angle is, it works really nicely, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does work. It's well created, this one. Cool. Oh, I don't care about willows. That's Charlie's pet peeve. That tree there, though, is cool. Yeah, I'll give you that. Spin. More. Okay, the tree. Oh, you're stealing mine, are you, Daniel? Love it. Yeah, no, it is. This one right here. Yeah, love it. Really, really cool. Okay. To me, I'm a big fan of, if especially at a hole that length. Again, and it goes back to that par 5, right? If you're giving me a potential, oh my god, if you're giving me a choice between hitting a driver off the tee and a shorter club off the tee, I just need a little bit more reason. I just need a little bit more reason for why I'm hitting driver. And for me at least, a shorter shot isn't enough of a reason. Like, particularly to that pin, I don't think I want a shorter shot to that pin. I want something that's going to stop quick, right? And so, even a splash there is going to be a bit, that one was going to be a bit iffy. Okay, so the issue I've got here, I can't see the water from the, like, I can't see where the water is here because this stuff's in my way. Now, this stuff's done really well. I like the look of it. I like this. I think this is all really cool. My question though is it getting in the way of the hole? Because I can't. Now I have to use a scout cam to try to figure out where to aim this thing. And okay. It's narrow too, so I'd better get this right. Yeah, that's cool. And then there's a lot of camber there. Okay. So this means I should be able to bail a bit left and it should kick it back. Why is my ball in the rough? Is that HB doing the trampoline bounce off of the camber, or is that the fairway not being wide enough? Just do that, you idiot. It's a par 5, so it's not the end of the world, but cheeky little slope here we're gonna try and use. If it's a front pin, you've got to fly it over the water. If it's a back pin, you don't. Like, you can completely skip the water. Interesting. Don't know how I feel about that yet. Okay, let's try and hit one.
You got it today, Noonan. Listen, Noonan, miss! Miss! Listen, Noonan, miss!
Maybe I didn't quite play that right. Didn't kick it very hard left or right. And now this will be fun. I don't know. It's just hard to say. Yeah, I needed something with spin there. If I'm in the fairway, I think I just go over the water and say screw the kicker slope. Because if you miss the kicker slope, you're dead. I'd have to play that one a couple times to really get a sense of how it plays. And again, we've got a really back pin. I know we had a really short pin previously, but both par fives this side have had an extreme back pin. And the potentially reachable four did too. And okay. Well, this will be memorable. It's unique. People will people will remember this one. It gives you an opportunity to play from 170 like 75 all the way to 220. So it's a good 60 yards deep, this thing, and narrow as hell. I'm not sure. And then the sloping on it is just kind of... This hole just seems like the green as an entirety just seems very random. Like it's all of a sudden we've got this huge, deep, narrow green. That seems to be kind of split into a couple punch bowls by the looks of it. There's a lot to unpack on this course. There's definitely been some chances taken, which, you know what, is not a bad plan as an alternate. Break. That pin's again, that pin's a bit on the dicey side, especially if we put the green up any quicker. But I mean, that thing came in sideways, and that's typical. I'm really confused by the hole. Make birdie. Typically how it goes. Where we... Oh, we can't see it. Oh no. We're going over the clubhouse, I guess, to again, just crazy narrow green. Oh, this hurts. I would love to see this. What a, like, imagine the trees out. Get that tree out of the way too. Imagine what that could look like from the tee. Going over isn't a play? I'm trying it. I don't know, Seb. Seemed to work okay for me. It worked. Now, is it? Oh yeah, in real, I would never try this in real life. Of course I wouldn't. You've got hardly any green. Like, it's so narrow again with the camber, right? I do feel like there's just too much slope here. The green's already quite narrow as it is. Because if you hit it in the water, you're just going to drop and hit here, right? So this is, I mean, forget about the fact we can't see the green and all this other stuff. I like the I like the risk reward here, because you're basically risking a shot to gain a shot. You hit it in the water, your drop's over here. You're just going to, you know, ideally pitching on and making a putt, making a par and getting out of here. Worst case, you're making bogey. It's not going to play like OB though, right? If you can get it over and you can get it to where I am, well, you're looking at an eagle maybe. Should make birdie for sure. If you flail it and bail, you're dead. So I like that. Again, the land makes sense. Move like on both sides is going to water. I like that idea. I like the idea that if you hit it in this bunker, for example, That's no fun. You hit it up here somewhere, over here, no fun at all. It just, I think it maybe could have been executed in a slightly different way. That's all. Because you've got this huge slope on your right, on the right, which basically limits how much green you actually have to put pins on and actually be able to play on. It's a hell of an idea, though. It's a hell of an idea. And I don't like the idea of going over the clubhouse either. I'd rather be able to see this because I think it could be a really cool view. But I'm figuring out really quickly that my style, yeah, I agree with Daniel. The complex is quite cool the way it's angled, and it being narrow makes sense. It's just this is a little too extreme for me. That's all. A great idea for a hole. Really good strategic drivable 4. Okay. Unusual for me to say extreme, isn't it? And then we've got our yin yang hole with a rock. Oh, we have to try to hit the rock. If you're gonna put a rock there, I'm hitting the damn thing. Is that Obi over the back? Yep, okay. That's what I'm going for. Here it is. I don't know. Touch gimmicky, maybe. Fun. But, I mean, that was into the wind, downwind, I would just fly it, right? So, it kind of does take the water out of play, which is a bit unfortunate. And yeah, Scoot, that's true. That barely bounced. More the game than the designer, though. Let's take this in. Oh, I don't know. Nobody told me where it was. Yeah, I would be. I play with Blada growing up, so I do like the golf ball to be on the softer side. Yeah, I mean, from a strategic point of view, again, I mean, I guess you could just lay up here and come over the water, but you've got all the room in the world to go over here, plus you've got a helping rock, so I don't know. It feels like it's a little too easy to take this water out of play. Okay. Oh, I just noticed the tee markers. Those are cool. Ooh. This is potentially dry. This is, you know what? This might make me think it's drivable. This is a nice touch, too. Like, your off-the-course stuff is fantastic. It's outrageous what you've done off-course. It's just crazy good. Yeah, we're going for this. Not quite. Need a bit more of a wind to get it there. I could see this being one where you might think you can get there, and without enough wind, you just come up short in that rough, or maybe even in the rice paddies or whatever we got going on over there, which is cool. Cool way to do things. I hate the idea of hitting an iron, laying up again. That's my own liking to go for everything, though. And then it just, yeah, I mean, that's the game. That shot was too easy. But that's the game. That's not the design. Okay. Pretty comfortable way to start the back. Okay, so the 11th tee is where I need to look here. I've been told I can't mess it, so. You're right. Oh, that is great. You've got hands holding up the bridge. Oh, that's wild. Okay, what are we doing here? Yeah, there's been some stuff that was inspired by real life stuff, right, freternick? That's just outrageous. I'm just hitting. I'm just gonna hit an iron. I'm sure 3-wood can be played up there too. I got a bit claustrophobic. It was a bit narrow, so I thought I'll just go here. Now this second shot's not gonna be much fun because of it. I don't. The cliff is, again, relatively easy to take out of play, but I don't know if I'm upset with that. That all exists in real life. That's okay. That is the crazy part. You're right about that. But the fact that you're able to create it in the game is just insane. The amount of creativity that you have and the ability to manipulate the designer to do that is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I don't know. I'm looking at this pin and okay, you're not, you know, blah blah blah. But I don't think it's possible to get near this. Which, by, you know, should you always be able to hit it within 3 feet? No, not necessarily, but should at least be semi-possible, I would have thought. Let's see what happens. I might end up putting this in the bunker, which would be a really bad idea. I mean, it could just be this is a hole where you got to take your medicine and make sure you don't miss short. Yeah, I don't know. And that's a 9. It's downwind, so let's keep that in mind. But that's a 9-iron fully or full spin, and it's 35 feet past. If you don't have that downslope in front of the hole, it's fine. In fact, if you didn't have the downslope in front of the hole, you could even get away with having the pin closer to the front of the green and still be fine. But with that downslope, there's no way to stop the ball. And there's no way to play it in either that I can see. Now, I might have gotten... I was going to say, that would be just about right for it to go in. I might have gotten the tough pin set here, which is fine. There might be a pin set that's easier. I am of the belief that you should balance out your pin sets, though, and they should all kind of play similar difficulty. They don't have to play the same, obviously, but the difficulty level should be similar for them. But that's a philosophical thing. Okay. Again, we've got a hazard to deal with that we can't see. I mean, it's an uphill tee shot, so I get it, but into the wind too. Man, I didn't need to worry about it. I wasn't getting anywhere near it. Yeah, see, this is a little better. I mean, it's tighter to the front of the green, but you don't have that massive kick forward, so you can land it here somewhere, and it should stop. You've also given me a backstop, too. And if I come up short, I'm dead. So you've given me a place to hit to play to. To mitigate the fact that there's a miss I can't make. Which I just made. I mean, I guess I have to come up quite a bit short to be dead. The bridge is wild again. Wow. That came flying out of that rough. Oh well. Oh well. I wouldn't mind seeing this kind of be gradually lowered so we can see this area a bit better. So like here, just lower it a little bit more so we can see that better. Oh, I didn't want that fast. It's gonna be fine though. The reason I didn't want it fast is I knew it cambered over there and I was afraid it was gonna overcut. I feel like we've seen this green style already. A crown green on a 500+ yard par 4 is challenging, potentially a touch harsh. And this is I'm just not a fan of this kind of stuff in general. But 6 feet right of a pin that I've got 194 yards into seems a little bit. I mean, I have to play over here, I guess, which that's fine. Yeah, you've been on the edge a couple times. I don't think you've gone over it, but you've been hanging out on it. You've been saying hi to it. Been asking it how it's doing. Jeez, nice shot. Can't blame anybody for that but me. This will be a fun putt. Down and up. Oof. All right. Yeah, that pin just seems a bit tight. For a wedge, no problem. How's it going, buddy? For a wedge, no problem. For a, long iron, Okay. Good one, Scoop. Okay, so we've run into, again, just being careful of your pin. Like, this is 3 out of 4 holes, I feel like, where we've got really short pin with not a whole lot of room. Maybe balancing that out a little bit more. And then, yeah, this, again, it's just not my style to have this kind of stuff going on. If I just wouldn't make this green, personally. Just this big, long, run it right off. I don't know. I think this is just one where the style is a little different than what I tend to prefer. I think that's all it is. Yeah. All right. Should be okay to hit this. Okay, maybe I need to hit a little bit more than that. Should have just played my partial splash like I always do. All right. Okay. Split fairway, but I can't see one side of it from the tee. I'd like to be able to. Now, I don't know if I can use it in this wind. I'm pretty sure I can't. So it's a moot point. We're going over here. I do like the idea, though, that you've got to carry the rough. You leave yourself a shorter shot in. You know, it makes sense as a split fairway. I just wish I was better able to see it is all. Oh, yikes. Well, let's hope this thing runs. Ooh. This must play pretty. It must be a pretty beefy hole playing it to the right. I had 3 iron in. Wow. Okay. Look at this green. That's a hell of a punch bowl. You've picked the right kind of hole to put it on, I think. Makes sense to have it on a longer hole. It's giving you some help. Okay. Yeah, the par threes have just been a little bit, just a hair off for me. Again, downwind's not helping me any, but I would be hitting a longer club in. Whoops. That's just too much. Where did I land? But to be, yeah, there's not enough room here. That's all it comes down to. I really would like to see another pin set to see if I've just got a really harsh pin set, or is that kind of how the course is as a whole? That would be, I'm interested in that. Okay. Now, after all that complaining, I make a fairly routine up and down. But it's just, I don't know. It's a hell of a drop off to put at the back of a long iron par 3 that you don't really have much room on. Ooh. This, though, I like the looks of. This is a split fairway that makes all kinds of sense. And then this drive is great to me. If I can hug the right side, I'm bringing water into play, so there's danger there. But it gives me a chance to get home in 2. Well, I'm gonna get really aggressive. Yeah, I don't know, Brian. That's why I want to see, because I would tend to agree with that thinking, but I would want to see it. Now, should every course be easy? No, it shouldn't. But there's a difference between, and it's hard to get a difficult course that isn't gimmicky. It's so difficult to do it in this game. But there's just been a couple of shots where just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to play this. And that's, to me, where things get a bit iffy. Now, this is fine on a par 5. So what I like about here is I've taken on the risk. I have a shot to the green, but it's not a gimme shot. I still have to hit a good second shot here. So it's requiring me to hit 2 good shots to have a crack at an eagle. That's what should happen. I think this is well done. Thought the wind was going to help that more. But it's going to roll on, and then it's going to... Oh, keep going. I don't understand how this game does that. The ball's rolling on. It's almost like they go faster if you land on the fairway. It's tough, dude. Yara would potentially be one, yeah. It's just tough. The thing is, in this game, that about the only way I think you can really truly make a course difficult is you have to just make the green super difficult. So like, since Ben's here and Yara's getting killed, okay, well, we did play it last year, but that was on Masters, so that might be part of it. But if you look like Black Salt, the greens there are just absolutely bananas, right? That's how you make a course difficult. And then you get on the verge of, is it really that, like, is it at that point, is it skill or is it luck? And I don't know, it's tough. And I know Ben has mentioned on more than one occasion that Black Salt is he thinks it's kind of silly. So, and you're here, Ben, so you can speak to it. But I mean, I think that's about as close as you're gonna get to a difficult course. But surprised how few. Yeah, Grovetown American. That one was pretty good. It's pretty tricked up. Yeah. Yeah, I like it too. I like Black Salt. Anyways, this course, you know what? The around the outside of the course stuff is just amazing. It is so good. There's so much creativity out there. There's so much there's so much skill you've used to take what's in real life and use the tools in the game and the creativity to be able to use those tools to then recreate what exists in real life when that's not what it was created for is outrageous. Which is just it's so good. The golf doesn't live up to it, but it would be so hard to, because I mean your off the course stuff is so good, it's almost impossible for the on course stuff to live up to it. I do feel like it's not bad at all. It's just a hair off in a lot of places I found. For me, playing the pin set in the conditions that I did, it was just a little bit here and there where you're like, if this was just a little different and this was a little different. I thought 8 was a wonderful drivable 4. I'm not sure I liked going over the clubhouse, but I think the way that the strategy of that hole was great. The way that it was angled. That short par 3 I thought was really good. And it would have been really easy for that hole to really not be very good. But I think it was really well done. Those are 2 holes that stand out in my mind. The par 5 at the end was really quite good too. Those are holes that really stand out to me as being really good, not strategic, but like good playing golf holes. On the back, there were a couple where it just was, the pin that I played at least just didn't really seem to allow you to do a whole lot, which was unfortunate. But the thing is, when you look at those, like this hole and this hole and this hole, that's just off the top of my head, there's very clearly the ability there to create awesome holes. I can't wait till you make 18 like that, because then you take your off the course and you add it to that. Good God, that's gonna be amazing. As it is now, this might be a touch harsh, but I see these holes and then they just overshadow the rest of them to an extent, and it's almost like the rest of them just end up being a disappointment because I can see how good it could be. So it's man, you're gonna have a lot of people play this who are gonna really enjoy it and who are gonna lose their mind over the off the course stuff, but they're gonna like the golf too. For me, I'm not quite all the way there, but man, it's a hell of an effort. It's not far short for me. It's not far short, just not quite there, if that makes sense. Great, yeah, really cool. I love that you took the risks as well. Good luck in the competition. Be cool to see if you got in. I know you're an alternate right now. Be cool to see you get in there. And then yeah, I can't wait to see what you come up with next, because my God, you've got creativity for days. Okay, so that for YouTube, we're gonna call it here. I'll be back with another playthrough shortly, but for now, cheers.